Most days, you can find Juan Freire Escobedo here, protesting outside the Mexican consulate. He's demanding justice for his sister, who was murdered in Mexico, and for his mother, who tried bringing that case to justice, but was also murdered. And because two of his close family members have been killed, Juan is also looking for asylum in the United States.
My plan is to establish myself here in the U.S. to save my life. We were threatened during my mother's funeral. We know these people are not playing.
He's not alone. Kidnappings have become a common threat to Mexican human rights activists and journalists. They're among the largest numbers of Mexicans seeking safety north of the border. Cameraman Alejandro Hernandez received asylum in August after he was kidnapped and tortured for nearly a week by Sinaloa cartel gunmen. They tied his hands and feet, blindfolded him, and beat him repeatedly. Then they set him free. But in a nationally televised news conference, Mexican federal police took full credit for his release.
By putting us in front of the 32 news cameras, they placed us in danger of being murdered by the cartel. I could no longer return to my city. People, including cartels, can now identify me.
He got safe shelter in the U.S. with help from El Paso immigration lawyer Carlos Spector, who has won several high-profile asylum cases. Each day he gets new requests to help Mexican exiles.
Without a doubt, for us, the biggest violator of human rights in Mexico is the Mexican government itself. And most of the claims that we have are based upon state crimes by the Mexican government.
Officials for Mexico's Foreign Relations Ministry reject that accusation, saying the government tries to protect Mexicans. Increasing violence over in Mexico is forcing a growing number of Mexicans to seek asylum here in the United States. But the U.S. government grants a relatively low number of asylum requests to Mexicans compared to people from other countries. Last year, for example, the U.S. government granted nearly 40% of all asylum requests from Chinese exiles. By contrast, in the same period, only 2% of Mexican asylum requests were approved. For his part, Juan Freire Escobedo must wait until 2014 before his U.S. asylum case can be heard. Until then, he'll continue demanding justice for his homeland across the border. Franc Contreras, Al Jazeera, El Paso, Texas.